Bracing is one of the most important techniques in powerlifting, but it's one of those things where you need some time to learn it. Today I will show you everything you need to know about bracing. I will show you a few exercises to understand what bracing really is. Then I'm gonna go over how to brace for the squat, deadlift, and in the end I'm gonna tell you to forget everything in this video and show you how to brace for bench press. So bracing is one of those things that when you learn it, you can really unlock your strength. And it's one of those techniques where the best powerlifters in the world got down perfectly. And it's one of those things that when you learn it, it will take you to the next level. And it's really important that you know how to brace and breathe, because it also stabilizes your core. And powerlifting becomes much more safer for the spine. It puts your spine into a neutral position so that everything is protected and you don't have any energy leaks like for deadlift where you get like a cutback deadlift. So breathing and bracing, what basically does, it helps you build intra-abdominal pressure, which basically is filling up your belly with air and create internal pressure so that you counter the external pressure of the weights and you keep everything stable. The first step in learning the brace are a few exercises that I'm going to show you in order for you to understand what it really feels like in the core, so that you can transfer that later to your bench press, deadlift, and your squat. Dog tutorial. Έλα εδώ. Έλα εδώ. Μπροστά. Drop. Άντε ρε, κάμε καλά ρε κουμπάρε. No. Sit. Ah. Make. The first exercise I'm going to show you today is an exercise where you need a kettlebell or a plate. And this exercise is basically gonna teach you how to activate your core muscles, how to push them out and engage them effectively. So what you want to do is to lay on the floor on your back. Then you need to take a kettlebell, preferably not too heavy, but heavy enough to push you down. And you want to place it on your belly. Now, what you want to do is you want to let the dumbbell push in your belly. And then what you need to focus on is to push the kettlebell out with your belly and hold it for 10 seconds. So let it push you in and then expand your belly, push your belly button up into the kettlebell and hold for 10 seconds. Push up and really focus on pushing your belly out and holding that tightness. You want to do this exercise for about 3 to 5 sets for 10 to 15 second holds. And you can either do this in your warm-up to get your core warmed up, or you can do this after your training or at home where you have some free time and really try to get a feeling on what it feels like to expand your core muscles. So what's important for the brace is to learn how to get a 3D brace all around the core so that you stabilize your trunk. And the first step is to learn how to engage your abs here in the front. And then the next step is to engage your abs on the sides so that you get a whole 3D brace, tight frontal abs, tight side abs, and tight back. So for this next exercise, you want to take a chair or a stool that you sit around 90 degrees. And let your core not contracted, let everything loose. And you want to push with your fingers in your side abs. And what you want to focus on is to expand and push out your hands on the sides, like so. You want to push in with your hands, push out with your belly and your obliques. Make sure that you keep some pressure when you're expanding so that you have the feedback and you have the resistance so that you really learn how to push out your obliques. So push in without holding tension in your core with your hands and then push out with your belly. If you are doing this correctly, you should feel it in the side abs and a little bit in the lower back. You want to do this exercise for about 3 sets. You can do around 15 reps. Just get your core warmed up. You can also do this in your warm-up or after training or at home. The next exercise you can do is a plank. It's pretty simple. I'm sure you know what the plank is. I'm just gonna show you a few cues to learn how to actually feel your core. You can do this in your warm-up. And you want to stand, go into plank position. But the key here is that you want to push out your upper back, squeeze your glutes, and push out your belly button down to the ground. What this does, when you are contracting your glutes and you are pushing your upper back out, you are stacking your ribs with your hips, and you can get a complete brace without having what's called an open scissor, where the ribs, basically the baseline of the ribs basically points up and the hips basically point down, and this creates a leak and you are losing energy and you cannot get as tight as you have to for the brace, but we're going to talk about it a little bit later. So you can do the planks in your warm-up. The next exercise you can do is a goblet squat. Basically what you want to do is you want to hold a weight or a plate or a kettlebell, go into deep squat position, and in this position you want to focus on pushing your belly button down and out, and you want to push your belly against your thighs, and you want to hold this position for 10 to 15 to 20 seconds. It doesn't really matter, just hold it for some time so that you feel that you're tight in the low position of the squat. What you not want to do is let your upper back and lower back round. You want to keep the chest high, keep some tension in your glutes, don't let them sit down without tension. You want to hold it slightly above your end range mobility, and here you want to push your belly out and hold that position so that you feel the brace in your core. So the next exercise I want to show you on how to brace. It's an exercise called the Valsalva maneuver. It's very popular. I'm not really a big fan of it, to be honest, but it's a really good exercise for someone that doesn't know what the brace core feels like. And what you want to do is you want to stand straight and you want to exhale all the air out of your belly and your lungs, and then you'll start feeling that your core is starting to engage, like you are about to take a shit on the toilet. As soon as everything is engaged and tight, you want to hold that and rebreathe into that and push the air against the ab muscles. Okay, let me show you how to do it. So you want to exhale. That's basically it. You exhale until you can't exhale anymore, and then you exhale a little bit more, and then you hold that tightness in your abs, and then you rebrace and pull the air in. And the final exercises I want to show you for today to understand the brace is at the cable. You want to take a grip, it's one of these, and you hook it around shoulder height. This is called the Palov hold. You want to take some light weight, don't overdo it, it's just to learn what the feeling is. With straight arms, you want to crunch on the side a little bit and push your side abs out like this and hold it so that you get a feeling of what it feels like to contract the side abs. You want to do it for some time. You can do it for 20 seconds, 3 sets, and this should be enough to teach you what the brace feels like. A few more exercises you can try to activate your core and feel everything working. Is doing offset training. For example, you can do a squat where on the one side you have the weights connected on the barbell with a band, and you have a little bit more weight on the one side. Or you can do an exercise like farmer works where the weight is only on the one side and you are trying to keep your core straight, keep the dumbbell a little bit further away from your body and try to keep everything packed. Common mistake on that one is that people might lean over a little bit too much, so you want to keep everything square and try to walk without having too much offset and keeping everything packed. This will help you get a better feeling on the side abs and the back tightness or the back pressure. You don't need to do all these exercises to learn how to brace. It's just really important that you understand really what a braced core feels like, what engaging your abs feels like. Now that I have shown you how to brace your core, the next step is to learn how to breathe in the brace. You can't have the one without the other, so What's really important for the squat and deadlift is that you learn how to breathe into your belly. You want to breathe in your mouth, mostly through your mouth. This helps me breathe in more air in my belly, and you want to push the air down and out. You can think about breathing in your balls. If you don't have any balls, you can try to breathe and grow some. I don't know. So what you want to do, let me show you. Excuse my hairy belly here. You want to breathe in through the mouth, and you want to push the air down, front, and sides. What you want to do is to breathe in your belly. You want to breathe in through the mouth, push your belly button out, and then push the air down in your pelvis and on the sides. You can see everything is engaged here, and if I release the brace, you can see that it's out. So you can see that everything gets tight. When you are breathing in and you are trying to get everything tight, you can think about that you are getting ready to get punched in the stomach. You can also think about that you are slightly contracting your abs, like an ab crunch. So push the air out in the front, push your belly button out, push the air in your pelvis, push the air to the sides, and slightly contract your abs. Now we are going to go over how to brace during the squat and during the deadlift. You have to excuse me because I'm going to walk the weight forward. It's something that doesn't really happen in powerlifting, but I have to do it for educational purposes. So you want to do your whole setup. If you don't know how to squat, you can check this video right here. So what you want to do is take your setup, get tight, and once you're in the starting position, you want to slightly contract your glutes so that you stack your ribs with your pelvis. And then you want to do what we talked about before. You want to breathe in and brace your core. So you breathe in and push your belly button out. You contract your abs a little bit like an ab crunch. And then from this position, you can squat. You hold the brace and then you release the air at the top. And then you rebrace for the next rep. Breathe out at the top. And you don't want to hold a brace for more than 1 or 2 reps. Unless you are Michail and you have the lung capacity of a demon. It's better to rebrace after every rep. You get more consistency in your reps and you're making sure that you won't pass out. So hold your breath. So breathe and brace and reset after each rep at the top. And now I want to talk about a really important part in all of this. Breathing and bracing is not the only aspect of a good squat. If you have a good brace but everything else is not on point, you're not going to feel it because there's aspects of the squat missing. So breathing and bracing is only one part of the chain. And to make sure that you feel that everything clicks, everything works together. So having a tight core will allow you to produce more force with your legs. This is called proximal stability for distal mobility, and basically means if you have a tight core and you have a good base to push from, your limbs work harder and you can produce more force. And that's really what connects the lower body with the upper body for the squat and deadlift. But bracing only is not enough. For the squat, you want to know how to engage your upper body and build tightness so you can transfer the power from the legs into the bar. If one part of the chain is not strong enough, you're going to have a leak. It's like your legs and your upper body don't work together. So what's really important is that you want to, when you're going under the bar, you want to really create that upper back tightness, depress and retract the shoulders, get that upper body tight, and you want to, in this position, you want to breathe in and brace, and squat the weight out of the hooks, do your workout, hold that upper back tension, try to touch the triceps to the lats, or try to touch your triceps together, and from there you want to breathe in and brace, hold that brace, go down, and then go up again, and then release the air and rebrace for the next rep. A common mistake when bracing for the squat is that you raise your shoulders extremely during the breathing, like this. A little bit of shoulder raise is okay, but if you are doing this extremely, you are doing it wrong, and you want to keep your upper back engaged and packed and not let it raise as you are breathing in. Not like this. You want to breathe in and redirect the air in your belly, not in your lungs and raising your shoulders. So thinking about countering that shoulder raise will help you also push that air in your belly, in your pelvis, and your side abs. Another common mistake is that you are overextended in your upper body like this. A little bit of extension is fine as long as you don't let the chest collapse in. You need a little bit of extension, but doing this extremely, you are having an open scissor where basically the baseline of the ribs shows up and the baseline of the pelvis shows down. The brace for the deadlift is pretty much the same as a squat. Guys, I'm going to use light weights here because I'm messed up from training. So excuse me for using only 5 kilos, but it should be enough to do the trick. So bracing for the deadlift is basically the same as a squat. For deadlift, you have two options. You can either breathe in at the top or you can breathe in at the bottom. The difference is at the top, you have a little bit more space to fill up your belly, brace, put air in your belly. And at the bottom position where everything is crammed up, you might not have enough space to expand your belly out and get in as much air. So that's basically your preference. But today I'm going to show you how to breathe and brace for the deadlift. Just like the squat, only bracing and breathing is not enough for the deadlift. You want to build that upper back tightness so that you get everything working together. But what you want to do is the same as a squat. You want to engage your core, push the belly out, little bit of up crunch, breathe in through the mouth, push the air against your belly, and then you can do your deadlift. You can go into position. And what you have to do here so that you make sure that the lower body and the upper body are working together, you want to engage your lats. The lats connect right here. And if they are engaged, everything is going to be tight. And you will know when the brace is tight, if your head is about to explode. And what you want to do is take your brace, breathe in, get into position, engage your lats by either locking your elbows, pulling the bar close to you, making your arms long. So this is not a deadlift tutorial, so I'm not going to get too much into how to engage your lats. Some cues at work are basically trying to make your arms long, try to rotate your elbows, cover your armpits, pull the bar close to you with a little bit of chest out. All these things can work to help you engage your lats. And if you have an engaged upper body and lats and a good brace, you should feel tight and you should feel that your head is about to explode, and that's basically how you correctly can deadlift. Now that I've told you everything you need to know about the brace, you need to forget everything, and I'm going to show you how to actually brace for the bench press. Bracing and breathing for the bench press is much different because you are into an open scissor position, you are in an arch position, and you want to forget everything I told you in this video until now. And we're going to go over how to brace and breathe for the bench press. It's really not that complicated, and we're going to go over it fast. So pay attention, take your pens out, and take notes. So we have talked about how to brace for the deadlift and the squat. You want to breathe in your belly. For the bench press, what's really important is that you want to breathe in your chest. So it's basically much different. You want to get into a thoracic extended position, and you want to really breathe into your chest. This is where the bar will sit. And you want to have as much air as possible so that when you're touching the chest, the bar doesn't push you down and it unlocks your shoulders, rolls you into a position where you can't push from. So for today, this is a breathing and bracing video. It's not a bench press or a squat or a deadlift tutorials. We are not going to get in too much detail. I want to just show you the basics of the bracing and the breathing. So what you basically want to do is you want to push your chest high, extend your thoracic spine, bring your chin in, and depress your shoulders so that you get into this position. And in this position, you want to breathe in mostly through the nose. And you want to breathe into your lungs and push your ribs out, push your lungs in the front. And you want to hold that air in your lung rib cage area. And basically, you are breathing like you are always breathing. You just do it more and you hold the air in your chest. Just like the squat and the deadlift, you want to breathe in and brace after each rep. You want to take your position, have good leg drive. So what you want to do, push your chest out, depress your shoulders, tuck your chin and touch it to your upper chest. And you want to then pull the bar out And now what you want to do is breathe in through your nose, expand your ribs and push your lungs out. And you want to hold that air in your chest and lungs, because when the bar sits on you, if you don't have enough pressure in your lungs and upper body, the bar is going to push you down, and then you're going to come into a position where you can't push from. Your elbows will flare out. And when you want to keep that chest high position so that you have a solid base to push from. This is basically the difference between deadlift and squat bracing and bench press bracing. Basically, you want to breathe in through your nose instead of your mouth, and you want to push the air out in your chest, not in your belly. So that was basically everything you need to know about breathing and bracing for the squat, bench press, and deadlift. If you like this video, make sure you drop a like. And if you want more powerlifting content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It helps us out grow and put out much more free content. And if you need help with your bracing, you can also send me a message on Instagram right here, and I will try to help you out.